All right. Hi, everybody. This is Jonty. Today is November 20th. This is our Saturday class. I guess, I don't know if it's the time zone difference or the winter or something, but we have a few fewer people today. That's okay. We'll still have a great class. What I want to do in this class is something that worked really well in the Wednesday class. So before we get into the formal class, I'm going to have a little conversation with each of you. Just to kind of see how much we've picked up, how much progress we've made. And for each of you, I will do my best to limit my Circassian to your knowledge of Circassian, right? And Kirill, this will be a listening experience for you since you're the newest member of our class. So we just had a conversation with the other Jonty Amisha. Yeah, if you can change your name for everybody else, that would be good. I'm going to go to Talha next. So, Talha.
Sit, Jonty.
وداوشت نوبة.
زنش وداشت.
سريسة خرزنش. ودنا وز الشعر. دنا والشقة. دنا والشقة.
سن مدغشقر شراش.
مدغشقر والشقش. ونوبة فيمبو بشلقة. فيمبو. بس أزرق ست فيمبور.
Penguin.
Yeah, penguin. فيمبو زريب شلقم. وقت دنا مي ويبشلما مدغشقر فيمبور هر بشلوفنوش. أراقم. بهج قمار. It's not true. Mr. What dana wishish?
Kayseri wishish.
Kayseri wishish. Wa abu qashilkhwa. Kayseri qashilkhwa. Were you born there?
Hawa. İzmir.
İzmir qashilkhwash. ست خود الشبه ونخوي قريحر إزمير حما كايسري ست خود النخ داخة ست خود النخ قولي وويديشتا
Izmir, of course.
إزمير سخسخاش إزمير كوش النخ داخة شيتي نخوابس ست خوديس لاندرا مادغاسكر وشقا زيثلس نقوى حماخو زبجان نخر
For what you are asking that?
How long have you been in Madagascar?
Yeah.
Maziph Madagascar وش ash.
Madagascar وش.
وأبس بشار وأب ولا جرا وش جرا. Universiteit مقرة حمرا لجاب مقرة لجابرة. خدتوا وزر لاجر. What's your profession? خدتوا وزر لاجر.
Engineering.
وهو engineers.
Electrical engineering.
Electrical engineer. خونش سيغوابس. ستناي هو براق. داوشت.
تمام وبسوي وداوشت.
سريسة تمامش. مستر سشغب شجاش ودنا وشقة. يجبستو.
سيدو حوش سشقة.
أبو ويجري حرا.
نطا.
داخل. سيجروح. وويديش يجبستو شقة حمخوابة.
خوابة. خف.
خنوش. أري أبخديزو خوابقم أو الشققم.
خوابقم أو الشقق.
خنوش. أصبرو آش. what دنا وشش.
سيدو حش سشش.
دوها ويادرا ويانرا آخر دنا قديتشار.
يعني يردن مسشش
أراشي ويردان مشش ويردان مشش ودنا وقش الخوا
سيد قطر سشر خواش
دنا
قطر دوحة
دوحة حلمتش و أونيفرسيتيت مقرة حمر ولا عجرة
ولا أجر
يا شكولة مقرة يا ولا عجرة. You either go to school or you work. So which one do
I
you
work.
are? You
So-
work. ولا عجرة ولا
ولا
عجرة.
أجر
وخدت وزر العجر. What do you do for a living?
I used to know how to say it was medical research wasn't شاغة
وزن
something.
شاغة قخوت نغر.
وزن
وزن شاغة قخوت نغر. Medical research. It's words we didn't cover in this class. Don't worry. And even in Homeland, most
Yeah, but
people. Go ahead.
you told me on the chat you asked this question.
I know,
once.
but this was many weeks ago.
Yeah. So I remember وزن شاغة, but I don't remember research.
قخوت نغر. قخوت نغر. Research. قخوت نغر. Si guapas, Satan. Whoopso. Si guapas. Aliyah.
Да.
وداوشت.
خرزنش وبسو ودوشت.
سريسا خرزنش وبسو. ودنا وشاء.
س فيلنوسم سشأ.
ستخو دقالة عارف.
فيلنوس.
فيلنوس. ستخو دقارال عارف is the شعر.
ليتوا ليتوانيا.
Quad Sandra Abusha.
Ландра.
Have you been there for a long time?
Нта. Тху. Иласит.
Abu Wigrihra.
نتا أو شقة إيش.
Saria Quadish, sa Chicago, sa Shopso, the Sassi Groch Meshipper, our Shaish Egypto. Maho Hwash. Mr. What then was this?
Sa Nalchik. Sishish.
Nalchik was this. What Abu Koshilhwa?
نتا.
Arashi Nalchik was this. Abu Koshilhwash. يثلثيت في بطرة و ليتوانيوم وأبخات أرى.
نتا.
أصغراش. حمي ربصو أليا.
So.
لالينا.
ست.
داوشت.
ساس خرزنش واو داوش.
سريسة خرزنش وبصو. وستا ودنا وشش لالينا.
ساش كبردي سشش.
قبردي وشش. ودنا وقش الخوا.
ساشي أستراليا. سكسش وخواش.
وأستراليا وقش الخواش. ودابش وين نبزر.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
How سكول كتبيلات.
How do you say 14?
شقوبل. Psh is 4. I'm sorry. Psh is 10. Psh is 4. Pshqopl 14. Pshqopl. Mr. Sitkudi Slandra wa Nalchik Wishipsawa. How long have you been living in Nalchik? يخسيت راشي وأستراليا وقش الخواش أب يلتس بشقوت 12 years والشبسوات يلتسيت يبتشا 2 years ago نالشك وأبخجاش you migrated back to Nalchik. أرى خبر حلمتش very interesting story. تحمي غبصو لينا تحمي غبصو. لماذا؟ What dawshit?
Свиствходе.
Sakharzinish whoopso. What danusha?
Се айдınım sışı aş.
Abe wigrihra.
Ноте.
Aidinim Egyptsto sha'akhwa.
Ноте.
Takshash. Takshash.
Yok.
Sasi desje Chicago desje sha'ekhwash. Sha'ekhwash. Yes, amacho danos. Mr. What danushish.
Se Kayser sıçış.
What danushish.
Se aydınım sıkuşal var.
قصقرآش و ويجرة حمراء ولا عجرة وأونيفرسيتيت مقرة حمراء ولا جاب مقرة.
Se soce uzaktan se afyonum soce ama ay bat se aydınım sışı aş. Master.
So what do you study in school?
Evet, master.
Masters for which subject?
Political science. Political science.
Oh, I don't even know how to say that. Politiciska шанага. Заржупан шухуема дигабзача. Хонста. Сигвапаш тимаза, сигвапаш.
Telescopic.
Kirill.
Yes,
How are you?
fine, thanks.
Do you have you been watching any of our videos? Do you have any vocabulary of Circassian, or is this all just very new for you?
Yeah, well, very new. I tried a few times to start listening to something, but still I don't know anything.
Okay. All right. We'll cover stuff. Don't worry. We'll cover stuff. We'll come back to you. Jean Dilara.
Ну да, Жанти.
What that was shit?
Хус апши.
Вхус апши. Whoopso apshi. Whoopso apshi. What that was shit noba?
Сейсус таразк фохосет хода.
Sorry, wasn't Charasi Ash. Mopodorash wasn't Charasi Ash. Arsha doxas is Jupamich. Shakos is Anam Tech. Sasawanagos. Sitnagos is Ruir.
Maşallah.
I have health. There's a little bit of money in my pocket. There's bread on my table. I have a family. What else do I need?
Ya. Allah'ım iyi şükürce.
Allahum yishkurcha. Thank God. Thank God. What dana was Sha'anoba?
I had to ask you now, Sashua and Sashush, what was the difference again?
Sha'in is to be at a place. So wherever you are, you could be at the store, you could be at a shopping mall, you could be at work, you could be in a city, you could be in an airplane. Shishin, so the verb there is sha'an, where are you? The other verb, shish, the verb is shishin. And shishin means where do you belong? So when we ask somebody shish, this is a big question with lots of options to answer. So if somebody were to ask me, and then before they ask me even the next question, it would be very common, very acceptable, almost even expected for me to say, so Yamish is my family name, so I belong to the Yamish people.
Okay, I thought so because everybody said a city name now and I wasn't sure at the moment.
But it could also mean, it could also mean like, where are you from? So like if somebody asks me, I'd say, because my mom and dad are from Syria. So it's a very big question and you can answer it in a lot of acceptable ways.
Okay. So, se shucha se shush.
Shucha was shush. Shucha ham was shush. What then?
Then the mitzam se kishul khwash.
Федиду жепат аглоголор. Аглоголор також. Федиду жепат. Сит хода кала.
Se krisham kalem se shupso.
وخدتو وزر لاجر.
Means that where? Where do I?
خدتو. What do you do for a living?
Ze ze mklch administrację z szkolarza.
Whoa, da rancha. Without flaw, flawless, perfect, perfect, perfect. Siguapas. Mr. Jean Dilara, maklasim yipacha before this class. Maklasim yipacha. What adigabzicha website? Were you speaking Circassian before this class?
Суток. Ze atre kurschem z kwash.
Wow, yeah, wachasash. You were in the classes, wachasash. Yeah. Siguapas, Siguapas, Jean Dilara. Dina Ansokwa.
شيت
Daoshit.
خارزينة وريد أو شيت
Sorry, Sakharzinas. Daksha Amsis. I was Sakharzinas. I'm a little cold, but I'm okay. Mr. What then was Adina?
سا سبين سشاش
Sit kwa daqala.
ست قالة is the درس
How qala Barcelona qala. Hama nawash qala.
in Cáceres Placentia
Cáceres. Placentia. Ar qala hama quaja.
طواجة
Quaja, khunch. Sit kudis landra abu shipsawa.
no I didn't get the question.
Sit kudis landra, dapshit landra. How long have you been there?
6 years.
Oh, some b yithasich huawa sishaash. I've been here for 6 years. Yeah. Wa ispanibzicha wapsafra.
نطع
Nta. Fua hamara tamamu. Yirakonus zupufans.
yes
Sita bishops are. What do you do there in Spain? Sita bishops are.
I don't know and I have to answer in English.
Okay.
So far I've been studying for my some exams.
Wa Rashi zupufanos wa universitete mushejer. Ara.
Course
Course guara crushejer.
sí,
Punch.
yes.
Si guapas. Tamil absodina. Zali di shop tapa. Daoshit.
خارزينة شو بسو دغوددة شو بسو
Wasn't shawi.
so
Yeah.
زبزة دير
أنا
تمام
حمجي أمنا خفوق ونص.
حمجي أم بسو
مش على
وداوشت
ترى ست جب ثانو مس طاب سوري وزن شاغة دي أش على حمي شكورجا.
حمش كوجا.
Yeah. Zali speaks 10 times better than me, so I'm not going to waste people's time talking to her. Hey, تقشتك. أي بلاغة. أي بلاغة. What thou shit. Sarisa خرزنش. Sarisa خرزنش. ويتس أرقد جاء. Andamir. Thou shit Andamir قبلة غج. تقشتك. بسوج. Yeah. What's it شبشر? شبشر يجيب ستوة. سورة بوت. Okay, خونش. Wow, ستو ثلاث سورة. كواد سي guapa خواش Andamir. Yeah. مخوف قويت سقش. Yeah, wasn't sure. All right. So that was all of you did very well. What we went through was the most basic conversation. You meet any Circassian person anywhere in the world. What's your name? Where are you from? Where you're born? you know, all these types of questions. This is very, very common. And you guys all did super. You guys all did super. So you guys should be very proud of yourselves. Okay. So let's go. I'm going to share the screen. We'll do a quick review and we'll keep going on with our lessons. Let me go here. Okay. So we all remember the story that we're in today, right? So Sabina's on a plane. She's flying to the homeland. She speaks to a boy. She asks the boy, do you speak English? No. She says, my name is Sabina. What's your name? The boy says, my name is Osman. She says, I'm going to family. I'm going to my family. My family. And the boy says, I'm going to my friends. Okay, so that's the story we went through. Very quickly in Circassian, right? Sabina quashatim yis. Ar hakum mashata. Ar shalam yopsasha. Wa yinjilibzacha wopsashafra. Hawa. Sitzar Sabinas. Hatwa witzar. Sitzar Osmansh. Sasiblarham yadej sokwa. Sasinabzoham yadej hashapa sokwa. As a guest, I'm going as a guest. Okay. So we'll come back to this when we do a breakout room. So we went through this stuff. I'm just going to do this quickly because I want to go into the next part of the story. Okay. But we will take a moment to just review this quickly. And I'm not going to do the whole, I'll go into the formal TPRS mode in just a few minutes, but for this, it's just review, okay? And I want people to focus on the Cyrillic, okay? So I'm gonna do we call this cold reading. So I'm gonna do a cold read for you guys so we can get more comfortability with the Circassian alphabet, okay? So, mir khajabs. Mir khajabs. This is a girl. Khajabzim yitzar Sabinas. Khajabzim yitzar Sabinas. Sabina Hashatim Yis. Okay. And then we go through the questions. So let's do these together. If you can go off mic, if you can go off of mute, right? So I want to hear everybody participate a little bit. Open your microphones. All right. So, class. Hey, Sabina Shala. Sabina Shala. Hawa. Sabina Shalaqam. Sabina Shalaqam. Class. Sabina Khajabs. Sabina Khajabs. Khajabs. Okay. Class. Sabina Shala Hama Khajabs. Sabina Khajabs. Class. Khajabzim Yitzar Sit.
Khajabzim Yitzar Sabinas.
Khajabzim Yitzar Sabinas. Class. Sit. For fugera, for coffees, something fast. Class. Sabina Moshinam Yis. Awa Sabina Moshinam Yiskam. Sabina Mafogum Yis. Awa Sabina Mafogum Yiskam. Awa Yiskam Moshinam. Sabina Kwashatam Yis. Sabina Kwashatam Yis. Sabina qwathatim yis. Okay. Sabina machina hama qwathata zarisr.
Sabina.
Sabina.
Zırısır kuşatış.
Aha. Sabina zarisr qwathatash. Qwathatash. Paj. Sabina qwathata hamama fog zarisr.
Sabine zırısır kuşatış.
Sabina zarisr qwathatash. Paj. Khat qwathatim yisr.
Sabineş.
Sabinash. Sabina qwathatim yis. Sabina. Whoop. Sabina. Dana Sabina is the sha'r.
Kuşatım.
Alem.
Qwathatim. Sabina qwathatim yis. Okay. Sit. Sit Sabina zarisr.
Kuşatım.
Qwathatim. Sabina qwathatim yis. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. All right. I want to do a quick check. On a scale, I'm going to ask you to hold up your hand in just a minute. On a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is, I understand everything. I don't need the slides. This is easy. And 1 is, I'm lost. Nothing makes sense. Even the slides don't make sense to me. And then 2 is, I kind of get it, but the pictures are helping me, not so much the words. 3 is, I need the slides and the words and Jonty to understand everything. And 4 is, I understand 80%. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, how are you guys feeling about the content that we just went through? Okay, I see 5, I see 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, Kirill, 3, and Jandilara, 5. Okay, okay, very good. Kirill, this is the first time this is the second time you're in one of the classes. This is an experimental class. We're taking a very well-established teaching method called TPRS, Teaching Proficiency Through Reading and Storytelling, and we're adapting it for Circassians, most of whom are heritage speakers. So most of the people in this group have had some Circassian around them, and obviously you're a newcomer. So one of the things that we've done is we've taken away the English. And part of the reason is because I think I might be the only person here for whom English is my native language. So there's many Circassians out there. There's many Circassian teachers out there that English is not helpful. So I took away the English, but I added pictures, right? I added pictures. And then the other thing we're going to start slowly doing is taking away the transliteration so that people will have more of a comfort reading. And obviously as a Russian speaker, Cyrillic is easy for you, although Circassian Cyrillic might be a little confusing. But as a newcomer who doesn't have a lot of exposure to Circassian, what was your feeling? What's your perception of the materials that we just presented to you? Were they confusing? Was it logical? Did you feel lost? Just help me understand how you're feeling right now.
I don't understand all of it, but I think pictures are helping very much.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna again. You're also
the most difficult sound is this Russian L.
We have 3 of them. We have 3 of them. That's why. Yeah. We'll go through it. We'll go through it. All right. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. And here is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. And give me a second here. Okay. I'm actually going to have a little conversation with each of you. We're going to go through this together. Okay. So, Nilgun. In the story, so we're just talking about the story. Khajabzim yitzar sit.
Hujebzim yitser sabinesh.
Sasitsar sit.
Wawitser jantish.
Sit witzar.
Sesitser nilgunsh.
Wawur robat.
Hawa sesi se hujebsh.
سسخجبز بج
جبش
سسخجبز
هوا ووي روبوتش
سس روباتش بج سس روباتش سيتر ست
ويتسر جانتيش
سيتر جانتيش بج س مشينم سيس
هوا و ونم يسش
ونم سس Yeah.
ويش أسش
انت ونم سس سابينا ما فوقم يس
هوا سابينة مفاقم يسقم سابينة قشاتم يسش
سابينا قشاتم يس ست سابينا زرسر
قشاتم
قشاتم بج وبسو دلعة
ست جانتي
سمشينم سيس
هوا
سمشينم سيسقم سابينا مشينم يس
هوا سابينا ماشينم يسقم
مشينم يسقم دنا سابينا زرسر
سابينا زرسر قفلاتش
سابينا قشاتم زرسر انت بج سابينا مشينم يس هوا داويتش سابينا الروبات
هوا سابينا خجبش
سشقب شجاش خجبزم يتسرست
خجبزم يتسر سابينش
بج ويتسرست
سيتسر
تلاش سيتسرست
ويتسر جانتيش
سدنس الشقة
و نيوجيرسي وشا
نيوجيرسي شقاش وبسو Actually, I'm in Chicago, but it's good. The grammar was perfect. Satanai hubrak. خجبزم يتسرست
خجبزم سابينش
سابينش سيتسرست
وويتس جانتيش
سابينا دنز الشعر
سابينة وخاتم يش
سابينا قحلاتم يس هاج سابينا مشينم يس
هوا سابينة ماشينة يسقم
يسقم انت هاج سابينا الروبات
هوا سابينة خجبس
وري وخجبز
طف ساسي خجبس
خنش سيقوابش أليا
انت
سابينا ونمش أس
هوا سابينا ونم شاسم
هاج تمام دغوة ددا سابينا مفوقم يس
هوا سابينا مفوق يسم
سابينا دنا زريسر
سابينا وثلاثة يش
أرباج سابينا شعلة حمل روبات
سابينا شالم روبتم سابينا
خجبز ميتسرست
خجبزم يتر سابينش
وست ويتسر
ساسيتر ألياش
ووش على
هوا ساس خجبش
وخجبز وبصو لالينا
ست
ما خجبز ميتسرست
خجبزم يتسر سابينش
سابينا دنز الشعر دنا
سابينا قشاتم يش
برافو سابينا قشاتم يش بج سابينا قشاتم يش سابينا مشينم يس
هوا سابينا ماشينم يسقم
Dana.
Sabina
Sabina Kwatlatam Yish. Wits are sit.
Sasitzer Lalinas.
Sasits are sit.
Witzer Jantish.
Jantish. Sasar Khajabs.
Hawa. Lowy Robot.
Sasar Robach. Arpej. Zashoma Hopsha. Sasar Robach. Wopsola Lina. Dimaza.
Sit.
What Dana Washa'a?
Se aydınım şaş.
Khajabzam Danas the Sha'ar.
Mıhıcebzım kalem. Okay. Mıhıcebzım kohlatem yiaş.
Yes.
Yes.
Khajabzar Kwatlatam Yish. Paj. Khajabzam Yits are sit.
Mıhıcebzım yiter Sabinaş.
Sabina Shala. Hama Robat.
Haa Dori Sabina Hıcebz.
Sabina Khajabz. Paj. Sabina Machine Yes.
Hava Sabine maşine yiskim Sabiner kohlatem yiş.
Paj. Bravo. Dina.
Sit.
What Dana Washa'a?
Suspense سأش.
Sa Dana Sasha'a.
وري شيكاغو سأش.
Sits are sit.
سيتر. سيتر ديناش.
Wa wits are Dinash. Paj. Wa wits are. Our sits are sit.
ساسي وري وسيتر
Wow.
جانتيش.
Wa wits are.
وويتر
Jantish. Paj. Makhajabzam Yits are sit.
يجابزم يتسر سابينا.
Sabinash. Sabina Danas the Sha'ar.
سابينا مثلتم يزش.
Kwatlatam Yish. Sabina Kwatlatam Yish. Sabina Mafogam Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, Mafog Miss. Look at the screen. Mafog. Sabina Mafogam Yes.
Hawa.
Dana sit Sabina Zerisr.
Sabina. Pasatum? No. Pasatum is.
Paj. Whoopso.
Whoopsowij.
Jandilara.
Janti.
Makhajabzam Yits are sit.
Merhajabzim Yitzer Sabinash.
Sabinash. Sabina Robat.
Hawa. Sabina Hajab.
Sabina Khajabz. Sabina Machinam Yes.
Hawa. Sabina Kuhlatem Yish.
Kwatlatam Yish. Samira.
Sir.
Wari Kwatlatam Wis.
Hawa. Sewunum Sish.
Sawunam Sash. Wunam Sash. Sa Machinam Sis.
Hawa. The Maschinem.
Sa Machina Siskum. Once. Sasa Khajabz. Hamash Ala.
Was Hawa. Where we robot.
Sasa Robach. Arpej. Sits are sit.
Where Witzer Jantish.
Wits are sit.
Sasitzer Simirash.
We shipchum Yits are sit.
Shukrum Yitzer Jangilarash.
Paj. Dawansha. You guys all did a phenomenal job. Everybody gets a round of applause. Come on. Bravo. Okay. So that's the review so far. what I want to do is I want to put you guys into a breakout room before we go on. And I want us to play with these questions. Okay. Now, the way we're going to do this, you guys are getting very good at answering questions. You are very good at answering questions. We're now going to get more comfortable asking questions. Okay. So I'm going to drop you guys into groups of 3, and we'll do what we always do. So one person will ask questions, one person will answer, the third person will listen. Listening is a skill too. Listening is a very important skill. Okay. There's four areas of language: reading, writing, listening, speaking. We don't do much writing in this class, but listening is a very valuable skill. So we're gonna go to page 7. All right. And I'll make sure this is dropped into the chat right now. And I'm gonna ask Zali to model this with me so that we can give you a better understanding of what we expect you guys to do. So I'll first ask the questions, and then Zali will answer, and then Zali will ask me the questions, and I will answer. And we'll just do the first, we'll do them all. We'll do them all just so everybody can hear them. Okay. And remember, if you want to take notes, but I'm not going to give you transliteration. There's no transliteration. You're going to use this page. Okay. So if you want to take notes, take notes. Okay. So, وحذر Zalina. Okay. Zali, dana washish.
Sa in nalshich tishish.
Nalshich washish. Dana waqashal khwa.
Sa nalshich tiqshal khwash.
Dana waqashal khwa.
Sa qabardem nalshich tiqshal khwash.
Yijibstu dana washa'a.
Yijibstu sa injilism sishash.
Yijibstu dana washa'a. Abisha'a. Now you can ask me.
Janti dana washish.
Sa serious shish.
Dana washal khwa.
Sa California sa qashal khwash.
Dana washal khwa.
Sa New Jersey sa qashal khwash.
Annesi söyledi işte. Annesi de söylemiş galiba. Aşağı Beylikdüzü mü diyor diyor.
Yijibstu dana washa'a.
Yijibstu sa Chicago sa sha'ash.
Chicago abit sha'a. Jistu sha'a.
Yijibstu sha'a'ish. Okay. So everybody get the feeling of what we're looking for here? Okay. So this is page 7. I dropped this into the chat. There are 12 of us, so I will organize this into 3 rooms, and I will drop into the rooms, and I'll give you guys 5 or 6 minutes to play with this. Okay. So let me open up the rooms, and I'll be jumping in to the rooms. Kirill, I'll make sure I spend a fair amount of time with you as well, because I know I want to get you up to speed. So breakout rooms. I'm going to create 4, right? Yeah, 4. All right. See you guys in a few minutes. Resume. So again, welcome back from the chat rooms, from the breakout rooms. I have dropped our YouTube channel link into the group chat. So Kirill, all of our classes are there. In fact, even the class, not the classes, even the discussions we have, there's about 10 teachers, if I can consider myself a teacher. Zali is one of them. There's about 10 of us that work on these materials. Even the meetings about how we create these materials is there as well. Everything's open. So when I spoke with Craig about this, one of the major differences that you guys are seeing in these materials is TPRS relies on a bunch of questions. That's not, well, it's much more sophisticated than that. But part of the secret sauce here is we give you 1 or 2 sentences, and then we ask you 10 different questions about that 1 or 2 sentences, right? So let's think about what we've done. Chajabzim yitzar sabinash, sabina qatlatim yis. Right? So then we ask yes or no questions. Sabina qatlatim yis, Sabina mafogam yis, Sabina machinam yis. Is she in the car, in the train, or is she in the airplane? So we ask you those three questions. Then we ask you either or questions. Sabina mafogam yis, Hama qatlatim yis. So we're repeating, we're getting you to think in the language, and we're repeating the vocabulary in a slightly different context, right? So we go through all these, we go through yes, no questions, then either or questions, and then we get to who, what, where, why, when, those types of questions. And then finally, we have a conversation. And that's where we go to that page that has like sasitsar, all that stuff. So this is part of the secret sauce. One of the things that we're doing in this class that I don't know anybody else is doing with TPRS yet, I'm putting all the questions on the page. And there's two reasons I'm doing that. Well, there's three. Number one, Circassian question forms are very different than Circassian statement forms. So, sasokwa, I'm going. Then a wukora, then a wasdekwar. These are two ways to ask where are you going. They look and feel very different than the statement form, okay? So by providing you that information on the page, I eliminate or I reduce any sort of ambiguity that you may have. So that's number one. Number two, as I'm always telling you guys, I am not a native speaker. I'm not a native speaker. I want to make sure I don't make mistakes, because if I teach you a mistake, you have to unlearn the mistake and then learn the real way to do it. So by putting everything on the screen, I eliminate me possibly making a mistake. And even native speakers are sometimes worried about saying something a little bit the wrong way. So by putting it on the screen, I take the pressure off of the native speaker teachers. And as we get more teachers into this program teaching, because everything is on the screen, it takes pressure off the teacher to remember all the questions to think about. Everything's scripted in advance. So that's what we're doing here. So I just wanted to touch upon that. And Aliyah, I wanted to address something that you had shared as well off recording. And this is unfortunately a very common issue with Circassians and Circassian speakers. Most language speakers identify as anybody who speaks that language. So the Arabs say anyone who speaks Arabic is an Arab, right? And there's lots of languages that are like that. Circassians, for whatever reason, historically, we identify ourselves by people who don't speak our language. And as a result of that, I'm sure there's others. I've never seen other language families like this. Native speakers will ridicule and make fun of anybody who makes even a little tiny mistake. And that's the absolute wrong thing to do. Guys, I make mistakes all the time. I don't really care. I care because I want to learn and get better, but my goal is to get my point across. And there's research after research after research that shows that the number one thing to learning a language well is to have a low stress level. So when somebody's making fun of you, they're shutting you down, they're putting that stress level high. And whether they realize it or not, they're forcing you to build a subconscious wall in your brain that says, when I speak Circassian, people make fun of me, people make me feel bad. Guess what? I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want to feel bad. I won't speak Circassian. And then that's why people stop talking. So in this class, everyone is encouraged to speak. You're encouraged to make mistakes. There's never going to be anyone here judging you. And even if you notice when you guys do make mistakes, I never stop you and correct you. After you're done speaking, I repeat the correct form of what you should be saying so that you can hear it, right? Yes, it's similar in Russian with English too. Thank you, Kirill, for sharing that. Jean Delara, did you have a question or a statement?
Yes, no, I wanted to say something that's really right what you said. That's the point. So it's so false that so many Circassians who can speak say to the ones who cannot speak or not that well, they say, yeah, shame on you, you have to speak, so you are not Circassian when you not speak. And I always think it's not my fault. So when there would be somebody who is teaching me, or when I had the opportunity, I would like to learn, or you can teach me, but it's not useful to say to somebody, shame on you, so why you are not speaking. So like it would be like it was a choice of me not to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really appreciated that we are in a stress without stress here, and the environment is more, the atmosphere is more friendly here.
Well, I enjoy it too. I enjoy it too. Thank you. All right, let's get back to class. First, I want everyone to learn the most valuable word in the Circassian language. Where's Dala? So, because Dala is in Madagascar, of course, we have to learn this word.
Gentil.
Huh? Vimpu. Whoopso. Vimpu. Okay? Vimpu. So this is the word for penguin. Vimpu. So every class, because Dala is in Madagascar, I ask him, Noba Vimpu Khurpshala. Did you see penguins today? So, all right. I guess it was funnier for me than for you guys. No, you. I hope you're on mute. I don't know. I thought it was funny. So. All right. So, Achadokwa. We're going to continue on. All right. So let's turn off the mutes. Let's open the microphones, everyone. Okay. Class.
Sit.
Class.
Sit.
Ar Shakumatata. Ar Shakumatata.
Arhekumetlata.
Ar. Ar.
اسمع
Ar.
اسمع
Ar Sabinas.
Sabina's.
Remember? So Sabina's Mirchajabs. Chajabzim Yitzar Sabinas. Sabina Kwashatim Yis. That's the story so far. This is a girl. She's on an airplane. Her name is Sabina. Okay. Now in this part of the story, Ar Shakumashata. Ooh. So in Circassian, Ar is he, she, or it. It's like Turkish, o, I think is the Turk. Yeah. There's no he, she, it. It's one pronoun. Kirill, it's like Sebia. Sebia is you use one pronoun, possessive pronoun for all a little bit. So in Circassian, there's no he or she or it. It's all ar. Okay. So, but we're talking about Sabina here, right? In the story, we're talking about Sabina. So ar shakumashata. She's flying to homeland. Okay. Ar class.
Sit.
Ar salam yopsata. Ar salam yopsata. Yopsata. Okay. Who knows what the word psashan means?
Speak.
To speak. Psashan means to speak. Okay. Sa sopsata. Ar ma psasha. But we have here this prefix that you may not have seen before. Yo. So who knows what it means? Does anybody know why we have this yo prefix in front of Sasha?
She's speaking to him, I think.
She's speaking to him. Yes. Okay, that's correct, Nilgun. So when we say yo, so if I say sasop Sasha, it means I am talking. I'm not saying who I'm talking to. I'm talking. I might be talking to one person. I might be talking to an audience of many people. It's not known. Okay. If I say ar salam yopsasha, ar, it's her. Okay. Salam, to the boy. Salam. So clearly she's speaking to him. So that's why we have this prefix yopsasha.
One question. So when you would have just Sabina speaks, so would you say ar mapsasha?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
Ar mapsasha. Okay. So if it's she is speaking, it's ar mapsasha. But because she is speaking to someone. Ar salem yopsasha. Yopsasha. Who knows if we see two people speaking together? If we see
So,
two people.
Zopsasha.
Zopsasha. Zopsasha. Zopsasha. Correct. Okay, so this is how Circassian verbs work. All right. So, but I think we're clear on this, right? So, ar chakomashata, she's flying to homeland. Okay. Chak Kirill is the same word as Rodina. Same exact translation.
Auntie, can you use these prefixes with all verbs? With yo and what was the other
No.
ones there? No?
No,
Okay.
no, not all verbs. With many verbs, yes, but not with all verbs. And in this class, we go through just a very small number of verbs as well. So it's less about learning the rule and more about learning the verbs. Okay. Okay, so I think we're clear on this, right? Ar chakomashata, she is flying to the homeland. We know it's she because of the story. But this sentence, if we saw this sentence all by itself, we wouldn't know if this is a boy, a girl, a robot. It could be a piece of machinery that's flying to the homeland. It's not specified. But here we know it's Sabina because of the story. And then here, Ar Salem Yopsasha. Right. So is this part of the story clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Is it correct? Is it possible to say Ar Yopsasha?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Don't
No.
think
No.
so. Yeah.
Why? Because we don't say who the person's speaking to. So if
whom?
we're going to say Yopsasha,
Mm.
if we're going to say Ar and we want to say Yopsasha, we always have to say who they are speaking to.
To whom? Yeah.
To whom? Otherwise, this would become
Lepsasha. Lepsasha.
Ar Mupsasha. So otherwise, this would become Ar Mupsasha. Yes, Kirill.
And what would be ma?
What would be
does
what?
Ma.
Ma is nothing more. Okay, so side note. Circassian has 6 personal pronouns, just like Russian, just like, English has 5. So there's I, you, singular, he, she, it, right? And then there's the plurals, you, we, them, they, them. Okay, so there's 6 pronouns. When conjugating verbs, every verb changes depending on which pronoun is speaking that verb. So in this case, it's third person singular, he, she, it. So ma is the pronounal prefix that we add to the verb to show that it's first person singular. So if I were speaking, so let me do this real quick. This actually is covered in later in the class, but you're asking now. So I want to
Sorry, John T. If the verb starts with consonant, we should put me, I think, at the beginning, right?
No, you can't.
No?
Don't try to think of rules, because at the
Okay.
moment you come up with a rule, I promise you something will break it.
Okay.
So what? Okay.
Oops, sorry.
So these are the pronounal prefixes, right? Sa, sopsasha, wa, wopsasha, ar, mopsasha. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So let's continue on. Class.
Sir.
Sabina, حكم ازدشاتر.
انت
انت Sabina حكم مشاتا. Mashata. Okay. So, whoops. Here. Okay. Shatan, we know the verb shatan, right?
Right.
We know this verb shatan.
Mm.
But now we're asking if she's flying to a place. Remember, in the first one, we just say she's flying. Well, we made a statement that she's flying to the homeland. But now we're asking a question, is she flying to the homeland? We're not asking, is she flying? If we were asking if she's flying, we would say, Sabina Mashata. But we're not asking if she's flying. We're asking if she's flying to a location, right? So there is this prefix that we add, is the, okay? Now, for those of you who speak some Circassian or your parents speak Circassian, you've probably heard, Dana was the kwar. Where are you going? Dana was the shar. Where are you right now? So this is the, it's a fairly common verbal prefix, and it's asking about directionality, the flow of directionality. So we put this in here because we're not just asking, is Sabina flying? That would just be Sabina Mashatara. Sabina Mashatara. Both are correct. Here we're asking, to where is she flying? So we put this is the. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. And then, of course, to answer, Sabina Mashata. Right? Okay. Class,
Sit.
Sabina Disneyland is the shatter.
Awa.
Disneyland
Taterkum.
Taterkum. She's not flying. She's not flying to Disneyland. Okay. Class,
Sit.
Sabina Mafaucha Shakum Shatra. Awa. Mafaugur Shatafum. Okay.
Train cannot fly.
Train cannot fly. Mafaugur Shatafum. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So we got deeper into the lesson than I didn't color code this yet. So forgive me for the lack of cosmetics here. So here we know from our last class, from the last part of this, that mafog is what? What's mafog? Train. Okay. Who knows? There's two pieces of this word. Mafog is train. Who knows what the two pieces of this word are?
Fire and car.
Fire and
Fire and cart.
carts.
Cart. Okay, so mafa
Fire.
is fire. Okay. Gu
Cart.
has two meanings in Circassian. One is heart. Gu is heart. Another meaning for gu is cart. Like we would say, for example, shug, right? Horse cart, or vug, ox cart. You can imagine in the days of farming, they would put a wooden, we've all seen pictures of this, right? There's a wooden cart. They have two big sticks and it goes onto the back of the cow or the ox or the horse or the donkey. You know what this looks like, right? Right? You can imagine this. So this is cart, C-A-R-T, cart, okay? So mafa is fire, gu is cart. So of course, a train is a fire cart because when trains were invented, you put coal in them and that's how they went. They used fire, right? Remember? Okay. So the word for, this is the way I try to teach Kirill. When you learn one word, I teach you the word roots so that you learn more words as well. And you learn the structure and the logic of it. So mafog is train, mafa, fire, gu is cart. But then we have this cha, right? Who knows why we add cha there?
By with.
By means of.
By means of, yeah.
By means of. Okay, so she is using the train, or we're asking, is she using the train? Is she flying to homeland by means of? Okay, so we've all heard, I've asked you guys all many, many times, Adigebzitcha, وبسلفرة, right? So وبسلفرة, are you able to speak? Right? وبسلفرة, are you able to speak? Adigabza, we all know Adigabza is Circassian, right? But when I ask you Adigabza tsa, wabsashafra, are you able to speak by means of the Circassian language, or in the Circassian language, or with the Circassian language? So here, it's the same thing. This tsa, all right, is Sabina flying to homeland by means of a train, with a train, using a train, right? Is this concept clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. Remember, in this class, it's not about going fast. It's about understanding every piece of what we do. We want to, you know, I said this, you guys know, I think many of you know Hamid Nazar. He's a very good friend of mine. I told him once, vocabulary is like a golden brick, right? My goal is to build a palace, one little golden brick at a time. Every little piece of this information that I share with you, it's like a little golden brick. And the goal is to make a very, very solid foundation of your language. Okay, so
there's a philosophy, I think, also. I mean, in the
there's what?
Philosophy.
Philosophy, yeah, from some of that too.
So,
So,
question.
yes.
Also say Sabina mafokje hekum sudechatera.
You wouldn't say that. I don't know why, but that's it. It's
maybe
grammar.
Because the main question if she's going by train. So it's not the main information if she goes to
Possibly.
homeland.
Possibly. See, here's the thing about grammar. Grammar is not the rules of a language, right? Grammar is not the rules of a language. Language is an organic thing that evolves over time. And then as it evolves, scientists look at it and they try to give it some structure so it becomes easier to understand. That's why there's always exceptions to grammar. So there probably is some sort of linguistic answer to this question, but you speak German and Turkish, you know, many of us speak Russian, we all speak English. There's certain things that just don't sound right and they're not right, and we can't explain why, right? So this is one of those. I can't give you a grammatical explanation for why there's no izda. Maybe what you said is correct. Maybe it's because the question is not so much of an emphasis on where, but the emphasis is on how. Maybe. Okay. So Sabina mafaucha hakum shatara. Hawa. Such hacha. Why? Such hacha.
Mafagor
Shatafkum. Now, maybe if you watch Back to the Future #3, anybody see Back to the Future #3?
That's my favorite movie.
Where they have the flying train at the very end of the movie. Okay, so there's always an exception, right? There's always an exception. So Sabina mafaucha hakum shatara. How mafaugur shatafum. Okay. Class.
Sit.
Sabina Autobuscha hakum shatara. Hawa. Sitchacha. Autobusser shatafum. Okay. Class. Sabina psashara. Sabina mapsashara. Sabina khatzri psashar.
Sabina's alam yopsashar.
Pej. Sabina's alam yopsashar. Okay, pej. Okay. Class.
Sit.
Alar psashara. Alar mapsasha. Nilgun. Alam khatiri psashara.
عالم خجبزم يوبساشا.
Sh'ala chajabzim yobsasha. Okay. Chat Sabina zapsasha.
عالم.
Class. Sorry, zaqsu. Chat Sabina zapsasha.
Sabina's عالم يوبساشا.
Okay. So here we're asking to whom? To whom is Sabina speaking? Z. Chat Sabina zapsasha. There's a couple ways we could say this, but this is the easier one to do. Okay. You could say Chatam yiripsashra, right? But that it introduces some grammar stuff I don't want to get into. So Chat Sabina zapsasha. Who is she speaking to? Sabina Shalom Yopsasha. Yopsasha. Right? Okay. Who besides Nilgun, who can tell me what this prefix here means?
To who?
To whom? To whom? That's correct. To whom is she speaking? Okay. By the way, I know I've heard many of you speak. Many of you have shared your personal stories with me. This, I think, is the area that most of you have a lack of confidence in, right? A lot of you know the word psasha, right? But all these little details, yiripsasha, zopsasha, dopsasha, dizopsasha, right? These little prefixes, these little details, my feeling is that this is where many of you have the lack of confidence. You hear native speakers say all these little things that kind of, it's 80% what you would say, but there's these little missing features. And unfortunately, it's these little missing features that unfortunately sometimes people will make fun of for. So that's why we're going through this, to get you guys to understand. And don't worry, in the next class, we're going to go through this again. This is just really a preview, right? Remember, we spent a full class now on the first mirchajabs, chajabzim yitzar sabinas, sabina kwashatim yis. And you guys got very comfortable with zerisr, yis, yisqim, right? We've gone through that. We're going to go through that here too. This is not going to stick in your head. In the next class, it'll stick in your head. So don't get overwhelmed. This is something I said in the last class. We've all had an experience in our careers or our lives where we walk into a room and we don't know anybody there. We know one person, and then there's 10 people. And somebody says, let me introduce you to all these people. There's Joe and Harry and Susan and Mary and boom, boom, boom, boom, boom. And you get to the end. I don't know about you guys. I don't know anybody's name. I don't know anybody's name. 10 names were said, and I don't remember any of them because those people are not real to me yet. I didn't really meet them. They threw their names at me, but I don't know what their personalities are. I don't know if it's important for me to know them. Vocabulary is the same way. Okay, so we're going through the story. You're not going to remember a lot of it. That's fine. But when we start to really speak and practice, that's when these names, it's like you now meet these 10 people in the room, but now you speak with each one for 5 minutes. You get to know their personality. You get to know who they are. They make an impression on you. It's the same thing with language learning. Okay. So is this concept clear though? Zapsasha, yopsasha. Okay. Class. Zaza, Talha, do you have a question?
I didn't understand. We say yopsatla or mopsatla. Do we use only speak? It means sesha. That's right.
Seshan is the infinitive form of to speak. Yes.
Yeah, seshan. But we can't use seshan only just like that. That's right.
Yeah, it's like in English, we don't say to speak. We don't say I to speak to you. We say I am speaking to you. But then if you are speaking, I don't say you am speaking. I say I am speaking, but I never say you am speaking. I say you speak. But then if he is doing it, I don't say he am speaking. I don't say he speak. I say he speaks, right? So this is called conjugation. That's part of what you're seeing here. So we could never say session just in a sentence by itself.
Okay.
Also, sorry, Talha, the A after S is converted to A because of the tonation, I think.
It's always psasha.
Session.
Sashen. People, when they speak quickly, they might drop it. They might like, this is very common when people speak, they are a little sloppy when they say it, but it's always written and it should be said as psashen. Okay. So I'm going to stop the class now. Okay. So we're getting into some new material, right? Now the formal class is over. So I want to be respectful of people's times, but as always, if there's questions, comments, concerns, I'm here to answer. Grammar, vocabulary, whatever. I'm here to answer any questions anybody has about anything we covered, even things we didn't cover, as long as it's related to language.
Janti, thank you very much for the explanation of the Z, prefix Z, because when I attended Nazar Hamid's courses, I always asked, what is this, what is this? But Nazar Hamid is a native speaker. I mean, he couldn't have explained the function of the prefix. So you gave us the golden keys today. Thank you very much for the explanation.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna stop the recording now.